Hi everyone, and welcome to Sustain Life Journal Yoga. Today we're going to be moving through a 30-minute Hatha yoga class. This class will include a mixture of asana, so the physical practice, dhyana, which is meditation, and pranayama, which is breath work. You can go ahead and get started by lying on your back in Shavasana pose. I'll be using a mixture of Sanskrit and English to describe the flow that we're moving through. Go ahead and just let your whole body drop into the earth beneath you. You only need to focus on this present moment and your breath while taking this class. No need to worry about what has happened before this class or what is coming afterwards. Begin to draw your right knee in towards your chest, slowly bringing your knee towards your shoulder. You can rock it back and forth or just stay in stillness. Start to extend your leg up towards the sky, and you can reach behind your thigh, your calf, or even your ankle. Slowly draw your foot in towards your chest, stopping where you feel uncomfortable. Moving into figure 4 pose, bring your left foot to the earth and cross your right foot on top of your knee. You can stay just like that with your left foot on the ground, or you can thread your hands through and hold on to your thigh, shin, or your foot. Just go where your body feels the best. Keep focusing on your breath and only your breath. Begin to gently release your legs, and we're going to move on to the other side. So draw your left knee in towards your chest. You can rock it side to side. Stretch it up towards the sky, and you can hold on behind your thigh, wherever feels the most comfortable for you. You can flex and point your toe. Draw your right foot to meet the earth, and then move through figure 4 on the other side. You may find that this side feels a little bit different than the other side, and that's totally okay and normal. And just go to where your body feels best on this side. Begin to unravel your legs and then draw both knees in towards your chest and give yourself a big hug. You can even lift your forehead towards your knees, just thanking yourself for taking the time to take care of yourself today, because you deserve it. Start to rock back and forth, and we're going to meet in a tabletop position on our hands and knees. Start to move through some rounds of cat and cow, lifting our chin and our tailbone up towards the sky, and on your exhale, drawing your belly button in and your chin towards your chest. Again, lifting your chin up towards the sky, and exhale, draw your chin towards your chest and arching your back like a cat. You can start to move through some rounds of cat and cow or Majayasana and Pithilasana at your own pace, just feeling into where your body needs extra time, where you can make extra space. You can move your hips back into a child's pose, or even come up into an upward facing dog. Really just tuning into your own intuition of what feels right for you. You don't have to follow what I'm doing on the screen right now or at any time in this class. It's more important that you listen to your own inner guidance. Start Start to make your way back to a tabletop position, Bar Manasana. Extend your right foot out behind you and start moving back and forth. Lift your right leg up in line with your hip and bring your left hand up in front of your head. You can start to draw your knee towards your elbow, keeping your belly button tucked in to protect your back. You can extend and reach, following the flow of your breath. Bring your left hand and right foot back to the ground and then open up your right hand towards the sky. You can even lean back a bit and take circles with your arm going around. Keeping our focus on the breath. Bring your right hand back to the earth and come back into tabletop position. Extend your left foot behind you, and again you can rock back and forth, and then lift your left foot and your right hand out in front of you. Then draw your knee towards your elbow. This takes a lot of balance. As you can see, I wobbled a bit, so it's totally fine if you do as well. Bring your right hand down to meet the earth and your left foot down to the earth as well, and open up, stretching out your chest, making circles with your hand. When it feels right, you can change the direction of your hand or maybe the speed that you're going. Bring your left hand back to your mat and come into a tabletop position, coming up on our toes and lifting our knees slightly, holding it. You've got it. And then lifting your hips and moving back into a downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Savasana. We want our feet to be about hips width apart and pressing into our hands deeply. You can pedal your feet out, move your hips side to side, just getting into our first downward dog of class. Slowly start to tiptoe your feet up towards your hands. Feel free to take a generous bend in your knees as your body is adjusting to your forward fold. And you can grab your hands on opposite elbows, your hands behind your head to lengthen your neck, just whatever feels right for you. Start to bring your feet together to touch and move into your halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Your spine is straight. You can bring your hands to your thighs, your shins, or the floor. On your next inhale, lift up into mountain pose, bringing your hands towards the sky, and then draw your hands in towards your chest. Take a few moments in stillness to find your intention for class, whatever word or phrase is popping up for you that you want to cultivate on your mat today. Draw your hands up over your head on your next inhale and lean over to your right side for a side bending pose. On your next inhale, lift back up to the center, and on your exhale, move to the left side, getting a stretch through our right arm. Open up your chest, letting the light in. You can bring your hands to your back or just opening them in a goalpost on the side. Lift your hands up over your head, and on your exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Plant your hands and step back into plank pose. Shift your hips into downward facing dog. Slowly and mindfully start to walk your feet up towards your hands into forward fold Uttanasana. On your next exhale, rise up into mountain pose. Bringing your hands to touch above your head and then drawing them in towards your chest. On your next inhale, lift your hands back over your head, allowing them to touch, and then lean over to your right side, extending your fingertips as far as they can go. Your exhale, lift back up and move over to your left side. And bring your hands back over your head and open up your heart into a back bend. Inhale, bring your hands up over your head, and on your exhale, forward fold Uttanasana. Nice job. Plant your hands on the mat and step back into plank. Lower your knees and allow your chest to come down towards the earth, moving into cobra pose. Plant your hands under your shoulders and press your chest up towards the sky. Firmly push on your hands and come up onto your knees or a plank pose, and then shift your hips back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up towards the sky, and you can bend your knee, opening your hip up. You can do some circles with your knee or your ankle, just getting everything ready for class. Draw your right knee in towards your chest and bring it between your hands into low lunge. You can keep your hands on the floor or you can bring them up to your knee, whatever feels the most comfortable for you. We're going to be moving into a half splits or Ardha Hanumasana. Draw your hips back, extending your leg in front of you. You can bring your nose to your knee, but you definitely do not have to. You can bring your hands on your thigh or on the floor, and we're just going to shift back and forth through our low lunge and our half splits, stopping where you want to create extra space and flowing where it feels like you need more movement. Frame your hands on the outside of your foot and tuck your left toes and come up into crescent pose. Ashta Chandrasana. Focus on stacking your right knee over your right ankle. And then open up into Warrior Two, reaching your hands apart from each other. Drop your left hand and reach your right hand over your head into Reverse Warrior Pose. Windmill your hands around onto the floor and move through your vinyasa. You can bring your knees down to the earth, or you can flow through straight to your upward facing dog, pressing into the tops of your toes and your hands, and then shifting your hips back into a downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up towards the sky, bend your knee, and start to make circles with your ankle and your knee, switching directions when you feel ready. Extend your leg out behind you, and then draw your knee in towards your chest and step it in between your hands into our low lunge pose. Drop your right knee, plant your hands, and gaze up. Now on this side, we'll move through our half splits and coming into our low lunge. So shifting our hips backwards and extending our hands out in front, or bringing our hands to our knee and just really tuning into our own body and our own needs. mindful to not allow your left knee to go too far over your ankle. You don't want to overextend and injure yourself. So just keep your knee right over your ankle when you move forward into your low lunge. Go ahead and plant your hands, tuck your back toe, and come up into your crescent pose. Ashta Chandrasana. Spiral your back foot and your arms open into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Really reaching through our hands, creating length. And on your exhale, bring your right hand down to your leg into a reverse warrior pose. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the earth and step back into plank. Moving through your own vinyasa, knees up or knees down, depending on your energy level. Shift your hips back into downward facing dog. You're doing wonderful. We're going to start slowing things down in our flow and moving into pigeon pose or Kapottanasana. Lift your right leg up towards the sky, bend your knee in towards your chest, and bring your right shin parallel to the top of your mat. Press on your hands, lifting your chest up towards the sky. And then when you feel ready, if you would like, you can come down onto your elbows or onto your forehead. It's really up to you. You can stay up on your hands or come down into this resting pose. As your physical body starts to deepen into this pose, stay mindful of where your thoughts start to wander, and really try to stay present in this moment, here on your mat, in your home, or maybe outdoors, wherever you're flowing from. Go ahead and press into your hands, coming up from our pigeon pose, and making your way into downward facing dog. You can shake out your right leg before we move over to our other side. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up towards the sky, bend your knee, draw it in towards your chest, and bring it parallel to the front of your mat. It doesn't have to be completely parallel. You can stay upright in this pigeon pose, or you can move forward into sleeping pigeon. Again, it depends on how your body feels on this side, so really try to tune in and see if there's any differences and find the best way to support yourself in this pose. Begin to make your way up into your regular pigeon pose, pressing your hands into your mat, and then bringing your legs out in front of you, coming on your bottom, and making your way into a seated position, Dandasana, with your legs extended out in front of you, and your hands at your side or slightly behind you. Really root down through your sits bones and extend through the top of your head, reaching up towards the sky. Maybe sitting in stillness, or maybe making slight movements with your neck and your head. Slowly start to draw your feet in towards your body, moving into bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana. Again, you can stay up in an upright position, or you can start to bring your chin towards your feet, maybe extending your hands out in front of you. Your head does not need to reach the floor. On your next exhale, you can release your ankles and make your way down onto your back. Draw your knees in towards your chest and give yourself another really big hug, and just thank yourself for your practice and taking the time to take care of yourself, being grateful for your body and everything that it helped you do today. And when you're ready, you can extend your hands and your legs out into Shavasana pose or any other final resting pose that feels right for you. Some say that Shavasana is the most important pose that we do in our yoga practice and our asana practice. It really helps to allow our body to soften and integrate all of the physical movement that we took together today on our mats. I'll leave you here in your Shavasana pose, and afterwards we'll be moving into the meditation or the dhyana portion of our practice. But for now, just allow yourself to be present and to take in all of the benefits and the rewards of your physical practice. Start to awaken your body by wiggling your toes and your fingers and maybe allowing your head to move from side to side. Roll over onto your favorite side into a fetal position, and then make your way up into a seated position to move into the meditation or dhyana portion of our class. If it feels better to stay on your back or any other pose during your meditation, that is totally fine. The asanas, or the physical practice of yoga, is meant to get our body ready for our meditation, our seated meditation, or even just moving through life and remaining present through the ups and downs that life brings. So we will move into our meditation. You can keep your hands up on your knees to bring in more energy, or you can turn them over for a grounding effect, which is our hand mudras. Take a deep inhale through your nose, and on your exhale, release all of the air out of your body. Take a few more slow breaths at your own pace. I will let you know when the meditation is complete. your mind has started to wander, bring your attention back to your breath, taking a deep inhale through your nose and an exhale through your mouth. Take a few more guided breaths at your own pace. You can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes and just waking your body back up to get back onto your day. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for joining us here at Sustain Life Journal. If you'd like to learn more about yoga lifestyle tips, practical sustainable living tips, and even just overall wellness tips, you can go ahead and check out sustainlifejournal.com and sign up for the newsletter. Have a beautiful day and take great care.